All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate all of you taking the time to be here. So, you are all here because we are all learning more about peptide and longevity therapies. And that's what we will be discussing tonight, which peptide and longevity therapies have been gaining a lot of attention in the health and wellness space. So, we've heard about GLP-1s and everyone's on them, but there's a lot more to peptides and longevity therapies. So these therapies are being explored for areas such as metabolic health, weight management, recovery, and overall wellness. So our goal tonight is to provide an overview and help you better understand what these therapies are and how they are being used today. For those of you who may not know me, I am Dr. Jessica Chung. I am a doctor of nursing practice and a board certified family nurse practitioner and a healthcare entrepreneur. I am the founder of JC Healthcare and Associates and the International Business Association for Nurses, where I help nursing and healthcare professionals become entrepreneurs. And for those that are interested in expanding access to care and exploring innovative opportunities in healthcare and wellness. So, for tonight's session, this session is meant to be educational and informative. So, we're going to talk about peptide therapies, how they're being incorporated into wellness programs. And we're also going to touch on opportunities for those who may be interested in learning more about this growing space. So, what I'll do now is introduce our speaker, and we're going to have our main speaker, and then we're going to have some guest speakers that'll join us. But please, let's welcome Lori Werner, who is the founder of Medical Marketing Wiz and a certified menopause coach. Thank you so much, Lori, for joining us today.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Chung. This, as you mentioned, is a very hot topic. So I have the pleasure with Medical Marketing Wiz. I've been doing this 10 years. I've been in healthcare about 20 years overall, but I work with a lot of physicians, nurse practitioners, integrative medicine focused providers across the whole entire United States. And I will tell you that peptide therapy has probably been the fastest growing service that I have seen in my 10 years of doing this. And it is also one of the most searched terms. So when we think about search engine optimization and providers, it just gets more and more competitive now to be able to be found in search. And patients do so much more research on themselves that peptide therapy is one of the highest search terms out there. And so it's really exciting to be able to be here today. We're going to talk about peptides, a bunch of different peptides, but then we'll also talk about how can you plug this into your wellness business. And this is going to be true whether you are a prescriber, such as Dr. Chung and Raquel that we have on today's call, or maybe you're a registered nurse and you're thinking about maybe doing health coaching, or maybe maybe you have a medical spa and you have a medical director that isn't there all the time, and peptides are a hot topic. We're going to talk about how you can incorporate these in a way that is compliant with very high quality peptides from a US based compounding pharmacy. And then how do you actually incorporate this into your business from a marketing standpoint? So, just a little bit about me. As I mentioned, founder of Medical Marketing Wiz. I also get to go to a lot of really cool medical conferences, including the Age Management Medical Group. I'm actually at the end of this going to share with you how you can actually get a 20% discount for attending their conference. It's actually coming up here in April. And they do have a peptide certification at that course. So I'll talk to you about that at the end. I'm also a member of the Menopause Society. I work with not only Dr. Chung's group, but also the Advanced Practitioners Network. And I am a platinum vendor slash sponsor of the American Medical Spa Association, and will be speaking at their meeting coming up here in a couple of months as well. One other reason why I'm personally very passionate about peptides is because I am a peptide patient myself. Went through menopause at 41. I'm going to be 50 this year. So that's a new and exciting decade that I'm going to be heading into. And with that comes a whole lot of fun things, right? You know, aches and pains and joint issues and hormone imbalance and weight gain that, I'm one of those people that used to be able to eat like an entire pizza and not even gain 1 pound, and went through menopause and found myself like screeching halt metabolism, even though I still led that active lifestyle and ate healthy and everything. And so peptides have been part of my personal journey. And so I really am a big believer in the safety and efficacy of these products, and really the focus of more, let's get to prevention, let's get to wellness, and giving patients the opportunity to be able to tap into some of these in a way that doesn't force them to jump through 50,000 hoops as well. So this is my little before and after. I currently microdose GLP-GIP, also known as tirzepatide. I've been doing that for a little over a year now. Was able to get rid of 20 stubborn pounds, but I've decided to stay on them just because in learning about this fantastic peptide, there's so many more health benefits outside of just weight loss, and things like reduction in systemic inflammation, sleep apnea, protection against Alzheimer's disease, cardiovascular protection. And so I just stay on an itty bitty bitty dose, and I really just feel fantastic. So I'm trying to kind of reverse age right now. I also take GHKCU, which is a copper peptide known for skin health and hair health, and we'll talk about these. I also take NAD, and then I take BPC 157 TB 500. This is a short stint that I did because I got frozen shoulder again due to lovely menopause. I'm also, just full disclosure, I am on bioidentical hormone therapy, and I do all the healthy things, continue to exercise, eat right, and all of that. So, kind of getting into the peptide market specifically, and I kind of alluded to this. This is a very fast growing market. It's not only for weight loss, but for longevity. And we're seeing this right now. Like, probably another thing that I feel like I'm really seeing is this merging of the functional medicine world with the medical spa world, with the naturopathic world, even. And more and more providers want to provide that comprehensive solution. So, helping you feel good on the inside as well as on the outside. So, you're seeing these being incorporated into medical spas now. Gyms are even offering peptides. And so, at the end of the day, what I do want you to remember is that this is not going to stop. And your patients are going to be getting peptides somewhere. And because these places are now offering other services, you want to be getting ahead of that to make sure that you can offer them in a safe and compliant way. So, EllieMD specifically is a telehealth company, and they are a very easy way to plug into an existing practice, whether you're a prescriber or non-prescriber, because they take over the overhead, the liability, and all of the, you know, staffing, even honestly, to be able to offer peptides. They've got a wide array of peptide offerings, and they're continuing to add new peptides every single month. And they are available in all 50 states, which again is huge for a lot of the providers I work with because, I'm from Michigan, and where I live, half of my state, everybody goes to Florida as snowbirds in the winter. And so we have providers that, yeah, they're licensed in Michigan, but every time their patients go to Florida, now their patients can't pre-order 6 months of peptides and keep them in the fridge because they're going to go and they're going to be expired. So they miss out on a lot of that opportunity. So in this scenario with LEMD, it does also allow you to be able to offer these in all 50 states. And so we do have a lot of people, right? I mean, that are doing this themselves. They're prescribers already. The problem is many times you have to have a medical director. You've got to think about DEA as well as compliance, insurance, overhead, staffing, answering patients' questions, shipping, all of those sort of things. And so a lot of times when I ask providers, at the end of the day, how much how much are you actually making on these peptides? And they're like, you know what, Lori, it's actually a good question. I'm not really sure. Or when they really do look into it, they realize that there is a lot of management that goes into this that does, take away from other patient care and also just, adds burden to the practice. The other thing is the telehealth piece of the pie, right? We know that telehealth is huge. This again is something that's not going away. I know for me, right? I'm a busy professional. If I have the opportunity to do a telehealth visit as opposed to having to like take time out of my day, drive to the office, sit in the waiting room, all of that, telehealth just makes it very convenient for me. So this is also a way for you to be able to capture some of that telehealth revenue and be able to offer peptide telehealth services. So specifically, kind of, we're going to go into the kind of what LEMD is and how it works, and then we'll touch on some of the peptides. And we've got a couple of guests here that are going to weigh in on that, and I think you'll really enjoy hearing from them. So, in terms of what LEMD, as I mentioned, it isn't a pharmacy. It's actually a concierge telehealth business that's licensed in all 50 states. All of the providers that are part of LEMD are licensed MDs or DOs, and they have a special interest or certification in peptide therapy. The beauty of their focus is that you keep your client relationship. So if I'm your patient and I'm coming in and I'm kind of talking to you about menopause and weight gain and, brain fog and, my energy really isn't what it used to be, you're still going to treat me for all those things. You're still going to run my labs if you want. You're still going to do my gut health test. You're still going to talk to me about lifestyle modifications. And you can talk to me about peptides. When the peptide piece comes, you kind of take the prescriber hat off and you might say, hey, Lori, you know what? Based on some of the symptoms that you're explaining to me today, I really think that you should look into the GLP GIP microdosing because that closely aligns with a lot of the goals that you have. We actually offer a ship to home peptide program that you can go right on our website. In fact, we can do it right here at the office. And I'm going to go ahead and order those peptides. The LEMD doctor is going to be the one that is the actual prescriber of the peptide, but they're not going to meddle in your client relationship. So they're not getting on and giving the person advice or anything like that. And we'll walk through kind of that patient journey in a minute. But I know the 100 plus providers that I'm currently working with that are partnering with LEMD, they really like the fact that they're not really meddling in their patient care. You earn a 20 to 40% commission on the personal volume associated with those orders. And I'll kind of dive into that in a minute. And then they also have some other fun little exciting incentives, some marketing opportunities, and other just kind of fun things to help you. Honestly, just from a business perspective, there's a lot of really great, even just like personal development things that help you from a business perspective. The compensation structure ranges between a 20 and a 40% commission, and it is based on volume on a sliding scale. PV means point value. So each peptide has a point value associated with it because you can't technically make a commission off of a full retail price prescription. They associate a point value and they do take off a little bit of hard costs. So, for example, the GLP-1s are 220 points, but they cost around $239. So, once you have about two people on a GLP-1, just in this scenario, you're already at the 25% commission mark. So, as a provider, it's relatively easy to get to that 5,000 point value where you're making a 40% commission. Again, pretty sizable commission that you can make, and the cost to become a brand partner is only $79. So we'll go into that also in a minute. They do also have a referral program, and this piece is optional. So if you want to just work with LEMD because you want to onboard your patients and you want to offer them peptides, you absolutely can do that. If you have friends, family, other providers that you know that maybe you're like, hey, you know what? I need to call Raquel because I went to nursing school with her and I know she has a medical spa in Louisiana. This might be something she wants to incorporate into her business. Then you know what? Rochelle's like, hey, you know what? Tell me more. And Rochelle's like, this is great. I would love to be able to do this as well. You do have to do a little bit of work to help Rochelle get started, but you're also going to be rewarded for that. So you do get a small override on any referrals. But again, this piece is definitely optional. I feel like a lot of people like to take advantage of that, but it's completely up to you. Um, about the actual peptides. So, another thing that is very important, not only to me, because I own a business and I am not going to put my name behind anything that I don't think really checks out. But very similarly, I'm not going to recommend anything to any of my providers that I work with that isn't really the best quality, safety, efficacy, and potency. And so, the LEMD peptides are sourced from a pharmacy in Texas called Clover X Pharmacy. You can actually, we'll put maybe in the chat the pharmacy if you want to check them out. The pharmacy it's an FDA inspected facility. They also have FDA inspected ingredient suppliers. They are not operating in black market or gray market or research grade peptides. So you will never see on an LEMD bottle, not for human use. I will fully admit that I had tried some of those peptides before I found LEMD. And so that's the nice thing here. These are all medical grade peptides and they are triple and quadruple filtered for contaminants. A lot of times you'll find these patients that are buying peptides online and they are not looking where they're really sourced from. They're not filtered properly, and that's really when people can get sick and have side effects. The pharmacy is also accredited by the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy, which is actually voluntary. So, very high quality peptides that you can feel good that your patients are getting, the best of the best. And again, they come right from Texas. This is the patient journey. So, essentially, if you decide you want to be a brand partner and offer these at your practice, when you sign up for the $79 onboarding fee, that's a one-time fee. You will immediately, within 5 minutes, have a link that people can start ordering from. So you can have this attached to your website. You can have a QR code in the office, and the patients will scan that. They're going to sign up for a free account. So there's no membership fees or any hidden fees whatsoever. They can just sign up for a free account. Once they have the free account, they can actually view all of the peptides. So there's a few peptides that won't show up on the public site. So I know the BPC 157, TB 500, as well as I think tesamorelin, ipamorelin. You may not see those if you go right now to the website. You do have to be logged in. They're going to choose the products, of course, based on, your recommendation and what you had talked with them about. And then a HIPAA protected health assessment form will come up. And each peptide actually has a little bit different of a questionnaire because each peptide kind of has different criteria that the doctor needs to consider if they're going to approve or deny it. So that's the one thing that I will say is you can't put like 3 peptides in your cart and try to check out for all of them at once because they won't combine the health assessment form. So if you're going to have them stack, they're going to do this 3 different times. It's very simple. Simple form that they'll fill out, kind of medical history, what supplements and medications are you taking? Do you have any chronic health conditions? And then this goes to the LEMD doctor in their state, and that doctor will make an appointment with their file. So they're not going to actually get on Zoom or call them. They're just looking at is this peptide safe to take based on this patient's health assessment? The patient does also have to upload their driver's license because, again, this is a prescription and they want to make sure that it's actually a real person. Then sometimes it's within a couple of hours, but generally within a 24-hour period, the patient will get a yay or nay. The peptides are shipped directly to their house. They actually come in, and I actually just got mine today. They come in this really cute metal water bottle. It's a new thing. I don't even know if you guys have seen it yet. And it's got a little ice pack in it. It's really cute. So the packaging just it makes you look really good. It's very, very high quality. And they get like a little booklet with everything they need. They also get all the needles and alcohol swabs if they're doing an injectable. Everything they need. It includes the tax, it includes the shipping and everything. So there's no hidden costs at all. And they also get 24/7 messaging support directly with the LEMD doctors. So there's no extra fee to talk to the doctor for the health assessment or anything. It's all included in the price. So very simply, if this is something that is interesting for you and you would like to learn more, your job really is to just market and raise awareness, and LEMD manages the compliance and the prescription, and then you earn income every single week. So even on your very own order, if you order a peptide, you will make a commission back on your own peptide order the very next week. So I'm gonna, I know we've already got a whole bunch of questions here, so we'll definitely get to the questions at the end. I do want to touch on at a high level some of the peptides. Now, this QR code here, if you want to check out any of the peptides, pricing, things like that, you can scan this QR code. This will get you right to Dr. Chung's page, and you can sort of check out the website that they give you, which in my opinion is really, really professionally done. The GLP-1s, of course, very popular. The beauty of this is that they come in both microdosing and weight loss doses. They also are available in an injectable as well as oral drops. Now, we know the injectable is going to definitely be the way to go if at all possible, but it is nice that they do have an option for oral drops. This is once a week oral drops for people that are just, completely afraid of needles. Each order is compounded specifically for that patient based on their BMI. And the patient can also choose their additives. There's no extra charge for the additives. So for me, I did B12 because I know I'm low in B vitamins, but they do have other options as far as the additives, and the patient gets to choose that. The GLP-1s are a 3-month program. They will ship all 3 months at once, but the patient does have the option to pay monthly if they would like. So pricing again, I feel that it's very competitive. In fact, just last month, LEMD actually even reduced the price of tirzepatide. So the weight loss dose starts at $299 and the microdosing is $239. The microdosing is always $239 because it's the same exact dose. The weight loss, I feel like most people don't do the semaglutide. Most people do the tirzepatide, but it is on a sliding scale based on the dose that the patient has. So very competitive, I feel like, with their pricing. They do also have a protein shake to help people making sure that they get their proper amount of protein if they're on a GLP-1, and then some fantastic longevity peptides. So Morlin, they have available in an injection as well as a tablet. I actually took Morlin with my functional medicine doctor before I ever knew about GLP-1. So this was probably 5 years ago or so. I did 2 rounds of the Morlin. I will tell you, you sleep like an absolute baby. It's amazing. It helps stimulate your body to release your own growth hormone, also helps build muscle, increase energy, and has a lot of anti-aging benefits. They do also have the tesamorelin, ipamorelin as well. This one I feel like is probably the more recent version of these sort of peptides. Thymosin alpha 1. So this is a newer one that they came out with. This one is great for immune support, wound healing, also anti-aging and longevity. This one is on my list because I just got over shingles and my immune system has been at war for about a month. So this is definitely one that is on my list. And then NAD. In fact, actually, I'm going to have Raquel come on if you don't mind. So Raquel is a nurse practitioner. She is also a brand partner at LEMD. So Raquel, maybe you touch on, I know you've got a lot of experience with NAD, and if you wouldn't mind sharing.
Sure. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Dr. Chung and Lori, for having me. I'm Raquel Landry. I'm a dual certified family and psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. I'm CEO and founder of Belux Health and Wellness Med Spa in Louisiana. So basically, we provide a variety of different health and wellness services for our clients. I'm excited about the opportunity to be able to help others feel better, function better, and achieve sustainable results. But I'm also excited about being able to help partners increase their revenue. Um, so I'm going to tell you about NAD. I definitely take it. Um, I'm a nurse practitioner, but I'm also an entrepreneur. So for those of you who have businesses, you can understand how some days can be extremely stressful. So for me, I love to be able to utilize NAD because it helps with stress and anxiety. It helps with brain fog. It decreases inflammation. It helps build your immunity. It has anti-aging properties. It helps you to sleep better, gives you energy, and it also helps with the addiction recovery process. So I was in need because, I was stressed. I tried to wear it well. And so once I actually started on the NAD injections, I noticed that I was making better business decisions. So it's kind of weird because, my staff could even tell. They're like, oh, you took your shot. I could tell you took your shot because I was literally like on it. So not only does the NAD help me, but it helps my clients as well. And you heard me say before, I like to help others, but I also want to help other partners. And I had a client come to me last month who was suicidal and homicidal before she came to me. Had some relationship issues. She just basically called and was like, I just need to see you. So I did not know what she was coming in for. It was after hours. Met with her and literally, to kind of help her with the whole mood and the brain fog and the stress and all of that. I ended up giving her NAD and she was better by the next day, like whole different person. And then called back the next day and was like, baby, I don't know what you gave me last night, but I'm going to need some more of that. So she now, so this is amazing that, it ships to home and now she's able to do those injections on her own. So, that was one of the reasons why I decided to join EllieMD because I had been doing peptides at my med spa for quite some time, but the process was not as smooth. Sometimes the pharmacies wouldn't deliver on time. It was always some kind of headache. I love the fact that number one, I joined because, Dr. Jessica Chung, I have a lot of respect for her. And, so she has helped to guide me, and help me out. I also love the fact that I don't have to stock meds. There's no overhead. And I am just grateful for the amount of support that I have. Every other pharmacy or every other avenue that we have tried for our clients to get our peptides in the past, it's kind of like you place your order and they send it to you and it's like, good luck. I love the support system and the resources that EllieMD has put in place to not only educate me if I didn't know, but also to make sure that the patient or the client or the customer actually understands what they're taking, why they're taking it, and they've made the process like extremely smooth. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity, but I absolutely am a huge fan of NAD plus. Is in as a matter of fact, knowing that it's a coenzyme that's found in every cell of your body. So as we stress and as our bodies undergo the aging process, as we get older, our NAD levels tend to drop, and it has been game changer not only for me at my clinic in making good business decisions, but game changer for me in my life. So thank you.
Love it. Yes. Yeah. For me, I feel like it helps me not have to go get coffee at 3 o'clock. It kind of is like the thing that pushes me through. So it's kind of a hot one with celebrities. I feel like you always hear like these celebrities are doing NAD drips and everything. Glutathione is another really great one. This is for detoxification. I used this when I went through mold toxicity. So that's a great one. B12, honestly, I just get my GLP with B12, but they do offer B12 separately. This is one of my favorites. I think this is popular both for men and women, is the BPC 157 TV 500. They call this the Wolverine stack. And this is fantastic for any sort of injury. So again, I used it for my shoulder. Also, one of the fellows on my team at Medical Marketing Wiz has tons of gut problems in terms of, I think he even has like an esophageal ulcer or something like that. But you can use the oral formulation, which is really great for gut health. So this one, again, is a temporary peptide. You wouldn't necessarily be on this all the time, but it's really great for gut health and inflammation and injuries. Methylene blue. So this is another newer one that EllieMD just launched. So great for cognitive function, oxidative stress, and mitochondrial health. And then sexual health peptides. So this is another really popular one, PT141. They have this in an injection. They also have it in a sublingual as well as a nasal spray. So 3 different formulations. And this is fantastic both for men and women. Because again, as we get older, libido kind of, fizzles a little bit. And sometimes we need a little bit of help. So this is another way to help with that. This is a sublingual one that I had mentioned. And yes, I have tried this one too. I'll leave it at that. Skincare peptides. So again, for folks like Raquel that are having a medical spa, and maybe, these peptides can be really, really helpful. Also, you will find sometimes people on GLP-1s will lose a little bit of hair. So this is great for hair health, skin rejuvenation, anti-aging. They have both an injection as well as a skincare, a topical peptide. So I have actually used both of these. This one here is really great. I think really reasonably priced. It's $149 for a 2-month supply, but mine has lasted like double that. So a lot less expensive than some of the ones that you may order through like Muesli or something like that. And then just getting into the revenue potential. So I threw a few examples in here. And of course, this is just an example. But again, I think this is a very achievable number. So this is looking at 10 weight loss patients per month, which again, if you're an established clinic, this is not a hard thing to do. I feel like even me, not as a clinician, pretty much all of my friends are between the ages of 45 and 55. We're all going through these weight gain and all of that sort of stuff. I probably got 10 friends that I could almost tell every single month about GLP-1. So this would add about close to $70,000. And again, this is only one peptide. Many patients are on multiple peptides. And then of course that number just goes up depending on how many clients that you have. Now, one thing that I will mention, let's say you're already offering peptides, like you're like Raquel and Dr. Chung, you already have, certain peptides that you're offering, and you're like, you know what, I may end up switching some of my people over to EllieMD. You can have them upload their existing prescription, and the doctors at EllieMD will start them and honor that same exact prescription. So they don't have to start at a lower dose and start all over again. So that's another, just nice thing to consider. And then from a marketing standpoint, I'm actually super excited because next week, EllieMD is launching a practitioner marketing kit. I am on the committee for this. I work with so many different medical device companies. I have access to all of their marketing portals. I will tell you the marketing portal that they're coming out with is better than any one that I've ever seen. It's got PowerPoint decks. It's got scripts for your front desk staff. It's got retractable banner templates for the office. It's got social media assets. It has an entire email marketing campaign and an entire done for you funnel. There are videos that you'll be able to use and add right straight to your YouTube channel. So tons of support. Raquel kind of alluded to this a little bit. At the end of the day, we are here to make sure that you're successful. Our success is your success and vice versa. So email marketing templates are also things that we help with. And then EllieMD is very into patient education. And again, me in my marketing role with Medical Marketing Wiz, I always tell people when you're a clinician, the best marketing you can do is education. and you're able to educate. You're not selling anything. And just by being good at education, it authentically makes you good at marketing. And so there's a lot of resources that Ellie puts out, a men's health series, a women's health series. We have one provider of ours that's going to be doing an interview on endometriosis and post endometriosis procedures, how she couples GLP-1s afterwards to help reduce pelvic pain. There's so many different webinars that you can tap into. Weight loss and wellness event. So this is a great way if you're already doing maybe your open house for a medical spa, or you have a webinar that you're doing on longevity. This is a great way to just be able to kind of plug those peptides into what you're already doing, and a great way to educate people and get them started. So in terms of how to get started, if you are interested in being a brand partner, this QR code again will get you to the sign up page. And essentially, as I mentioned, it's $79. It's a one-time $79 fee. The only recurring fee is an $8 a month fee. And that gets you the website where people can order from you. And then you also have this back office where you can track your leads, you can track your orders. There's training and things like that in there. So that's $8 a month, very low cost. And you also earn a commission on your own peptide orders. So I know for me at the beginning, it was like, hey, this is a great way for me to get 20% off my peptides. And then now, lo and behold, fast forward, I have 110 different clinics that I'm working with that are now incorporating peptides. So this QR code will get you to the sign up page. If you're just curious and you're like, you know what, I love this, but I kind of want to learn about peptides and get my own experience as a customer first, we are more than happy to have you as a customer, and you can go in and try some of them out for yourself. And if at any time you decide you want to upgrade to brand partner, you can absolutely do that. All right. So once you sign up as a brand partner, I did want to just give you kind of a peek as to what's next. So you'll get access to this portal where you'll be able to pick what your name is going to be. So you'll get a website, elliemd.com/, whatever your name is, Dr. Jessica Chung, for example. And then boom, you're live, you're ready to go. Your website is ready for people to order from. And then we always encourage you to place an order from yourself. Not only, again, because you'll get the peptides less expensive, but it is important for you to kind of understand the questionnaire that the patient's going to fill out. How quickly do you actually get your order? What does the packaging look like? Because as patients ask you questions, you'll have already been through the process yourself, and you'll kind of understand even, how to direct message the doctor if the patient has any questions. So we like you to place an order from yourself, and then we'll hop on. Again, you get access by working with Dr. Chung and the International Business Association for Nurses. You also get access to me as a marketing partner. So we will actually log into your website for you. We will connect your EllieMD site to your existing website. Or we can give all the copy and content to your current website person if you want to have them do it. And then currently we're doing it every other week, but we probably will end up moving to every week, is we do a patient education webinar. It's called Longevity Leaders. And we would invite you to come on and just talk for a couple of minutes. We do an educational webinar, just basically what is a peptide? What are peptides? It's not a sales presentation. It's really for patients that want to learn about what peptides are. And then you can come on for a couple of minutes, introduce yourself, maybe share your experience with peptides or a patient testimonial or something along those lines. And we invite all of your patients to this webinar. So this is a way where you do not have to be a peptide expert on day one. You can literally join, get it connected to your website. We have the done for you email blast, the social media assets, and then you can spotlight on our webinar. Our next one is actually going to be next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I would also encourage you, even if you just want to be a fly on the wall and kind of see how we launch new providers, that would be a good opportunity. You can just join, you don't have to be on camera or anything like that, and just listen in. So they're generally really well done and really informative. And so I'm going to pause here. I know Dr. Chung may want to chime in on a few things. And we can definitely, it looks like the chat is blowing up with a bazillion questions. So we will get to as many of those as we can. So hopefully so far this has been helpful for everybody.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of questions, and there's one question I definitely want to get to first, and I'm actually going to have Raquel answer that. So we do have a lot of wellness professionals. So they're not prescribers, they're not medical professionals, wellness professionals, especially those in the mental health. And so they want to know how can they also um, hone in and take advantage of this opportunity if they're seeing clients for mental health, but they're not a prescriber.
Oh, this is a great opportunity to be able to do that because you're not the prescriber. So if you're seeing a patient in the mental wellness or mental health aspect, if that patient needs it, the only thing you need to do is give them your QR code or your link, and they can actually purchase it straight directly from EllieMD. So there's no need for you to prescribe, which I do see a lot of mental health patients, and it does come up. I'm a little different because I'm family and psychiatric mental health, but there are some providers who are mental health only and are not comfortable with, well, or don't feel like, okay, I should be prescribing this, that, and the other. So if there's something outside of that, or whether it be something that you typically would be able to prescribe, it takes all of that liability off of you, and the patient can now get whatever that supplement or peptide or whatever it is that they need directly from EllieMD, so you don't necessarily have to worry about that.
Yep. And then you'll still earn the commission on that. So
Correct.
that is the real beauty of this from a liability compliance standpoint is the prescriber is the LEMD doctor. Therefore,
Right.
you as a nurse or you as a health coach or a non-prescriber, they're still getting medically supervised, medically prescribed peptides. They're not going on some black market website and getting something that you don't even know where this came from. So that's actually, I love the mental health angle of this for sure, because I mean, a lot of times mental health happens for a whole lot of different reasons.
Right.
And if we can address inflammation, if we can help with mental clarity, if we can help with positive mood, Um, you look at all of the prescription medications, which we know patients need those as well. So not to say they shouldn't, have that as part of their workup, but these help just the body do what it used to do, which
Correct.
is which is really nice. So it's yeah, I'm actually really glad you asked that question.
And I think
Yeah.
it's a good thing too, because it not necessarily takes you out of the equation, but you still get to focus on taking care of that patient while Ellie's handling whatever it is that they need. And so you're following up to see how it's working, and then you'll be pleased to see how well it's working as well.
Mhm.
Good question. And then I want to also add that there are products that LEMD offers that studies, research is finding to be helpful. So the synapsin, which is, we're actually sold out of that one right now. A lot of people are asking for that one. That one does, or I should say, may support cognitive clarity and focus. The methylene blue also helps with cognition and mood support, and the NAD. So Raquel shared her experience of that she just felt clearer and sharper. And so that's important, I think, for all of us, professionals and just people. It's not just about the physical benefits from these products, but also the mental.
Mhm.
All right, so great question. Okay, so we're going to move on. We have a question. Someone said you mentioned that we don't lose our patient provider relationship, but what you just described sounds like we lose the relationship. So I can answer that question. You do not lose any type of relationship with this platform. So EllieMD is not acting as that patient's primary care provider or any type of provider other than the provider that is evaluating them through the platform for the specific therapy that that patient chose, that that patient added to cart and paid for and submitted their health assessment for. That is what the EllieMD provider is going to look at to make a determination. Is that specific treatment or therapy suitable for that patient? So if you are the primary care provider, or you have a weight loss clinic, or you're the wellness provider, the mental health provider, that patient's still going to have that relationship with you. So nothing is lost. And I can, I'm speaking from experience. I have patients, I hand them the iPad and I'm like, okay, fill out the form, fill out the questionnaire, submit your order. And actually, it does ask, I forget which product, but one of my patients said it actually asked them, did they want their PCP to manage their titration? So in that case, whether you're not even the PCP, the patient still is responsible for talking with their PCP and making sure their PCP is aware of the therapies they're getting from EllieMD. All right. Anybody want to add to that, Lori?
Yeah, I was just going to say sometimes people like maybe you're running labs, right? LAMD isn't running the labs. You're still running the labs. You can still charge the patient for that. You're the one talking to the patient about lifestyle modifications. If you're doing gut health testing, if you're doing, I mean, all of that stuff is still you. It's just the only thing Ellie is doing is the actual approval of the prescription and the shipping to the patient. So hopefully that kind of helps with that. So
Okay.
they're not going to get on a call with your patient. They're
Yeah.
not going to say, "Oh, I think you should actually take this one also." They are only there to approve or deny the peptide via the health assessment form.
Right. Okay. We have another question about PO, so oral GLP-1 and versus options for patients. How does that differ from the drops? So the oral, I guess GLP-1 tablets, and how does it differ from
Yeah,
the
they're not the GLP-1 oral for Ellie are drops, and it's an Elevatech is what they call it, system, delivery system. And even the drops are still only once a week. It does have to pass through the liver though, right? So the injectable is still going to be more efficacious because it's being injected. But the oral is a nice option. I have one customer whose daughter they needed to get on the GLPs, and she's a young girl and she's terrified of needles, and they never would have gotten her to take. I think she's 18 or 19. She was not going to take the needles. So that oral drop is a nice option. Some of the peptides, like the NAD, does have a nasal formulation. So some of them do have like nasal, some of them are pills, but the GLP-1s are either injectables or the drops.
Awesome. Okay. So the next question. We answered a lot of these questions. Some people said, thank you, already answered that question. Compounded with terzepatide and B12. Yes, that is an option with EllieMD. And as a nurse practitioner opening a medical weight loss practice, with EllieMD act as my medical director or for the practice. So no, EllieMD is not acting as your collaborative physician or your medical director. They are a concierge telehealth platform that you are partnering with. So as far as if you still are managing your own practice, your own clinic, your own therapy business, whatever supervising requirements you have for that, seeing patients, you continue to do that. Okay. EllieMD is not coming in and being your supervisor or medical director. Can you assist with building a website? Great question. So, Lori is
Yeah,
literally
I
the
love this
medical
question.
marketing whiz. So,
So
yeah.
yeah, so my company does do websites and we can definitely help with that. And EllieMD does also give you a website, and now that's focused on their products. So generally, we would have your regular website just linked to your Ellie website, since obviously you want to keep all your branding and all of that. But yes, so Medical Marketing Wiz, we do websites. We do them in WordPress. We include search engine optimization as part of the build. So we can definitely chat about that. So just get in touch with Dr. Chung and she can get you in touch with me and you'll be seeing
Yes.
me anyway. So we work very closely together, as well as with Raquel and the rest of Dr. Chung's brand partners that she's working with. So you get access to me and we can do a whole marketing strategy session. There's no cost for that at all. Again, we're here to make sure that you guys are successful. None of us want you signing up for something and just, throwing $79 out the window, right? We want you to be successful and we want to make sure that you can plug into this very quickly. And so, yes, we can definitely talk about websites.
Yes. And just so I'm seeing a lot of questions about having a practice, not having a practice, not having a business, having a business. You don't have to own a business of any type to join this opportunity. Just so everybody's aware. Now, if you have any type of business, that's great because that just gives you access to a network of people. So you don't have to own a practice or business. You don't have to be even a medical professional. Lori is a medical marketing strategist. She just happens to have been in this space for many years, but she's not a nurse, she's not a doctor, but she's very knowledgeable. So just to be successful in any type of business, you learn, you do your research, and as you become a user of peptides for yourself, you will then be able to help your customers in regards to giving them recommendations as well. But you do not have to own a business or even in the least bit be an actual medical or wellness provider. Okay. So someone asked about FDA approval of the peptides, category 2 versus category 1.
Yeah, so none of the research grade peptides are going to be part of Ellie. So, for example, right now, retatrutide is not technically approved yet. I'm hearing it might be in the next like 12 months or so, but that isn't one of the peptides that they offer. So they're only offering medical grade approved peptides. None of the research grade peptides are available here, but they are adding new ones all the time. So, um, they're only the like prescription grade peptides.
Right. Okay. So I'm kind of going to group some of these questions. People are asking about managing their patient's best practice. If you have a patient that they get their peptides through LEMD, but they're patient, and then also the minimum age for peptides. I think GLPs are 12 minimum age.
Ooh, that's a good. I honestly don't know the
I
answer.
would have to review that. I think so. If it were me, and I would definitely follow the brand names and their recommendations as far as minimum age. If you're talking about GLP-1s, I honestly can't answer that for the other peptides. I am a family nurse practitioner, but I mainly see adults. So I would have to do some research on that. Now, best practice to manage your patients using LEMD system for treatments. So that's where you will continue to be hands-on again. So if you are the primary care provider, you definitely just want to ensure that you will follow the normal practice that you would do if you were the one actually giving the therapy to your patient in the office. So, however you would do that, that's how you would continue, in my opinion. So, if the patient, if you normally see them once a month on a GLP-1, continue that. Every 3 months, continue that. Checking in, weekly by phone, continue that. So, you basically would manage your patient the way you would normally do. All right. In my state, nurse practitioners require supervising physician to see patients. Therefore, I need a supervising physician to opening a clinic to provide any types of services. EllieMD offers the MD for the prescribing. However, they wouldn't act as the supervising physician. That's correct. Which is great because if you are looking for an opportunity to offer peptides, think of this as a way that you're offering access and earning commission. So, in my opinion, that allows you to grow a client base with those customers and earn revenue that you can use to invest in your business.
Yep.
Okay. Since you're running the lab assessment consultation, you'd still need a supervising physician. So no. So just to clarify, the whole assessment is going through EllieMD. EllieMD will ask your customer slash patient, have they seen their PCP and have they done labs in a certain time frame?
I think it's like 2 years. Have they had labs in the
Yeah,
last?
right. So they so think of it like LEMD is responsible to ensuring that patient is being treated safely with the therapy that they chose. So that is how they handle that. So again, whether you are the provider or not, LEMD does make sure that that patient is safely receiving that treatment.
Yeah, they do not require that patient to get labs. So it's a question that they ask, have you had your labs done? Have you been seen by a doctor in the last 2 years? Um, if like in Dr. Chung's case, she likes to do labs. So she goes
Mhm.
to the labs. It's not required to get the peptide that to do the labs, but she's got a very comprehensive program with these patients and she's hands-on with the patients. But let's say you're just a nurse and you're not going to be running labs. You don't have to. We're not doing
Mhm.
hormones here.
Yeah.
Generally, these peptides are, again, they're amino acid chains, so it's not like my hormone doctor where I gotta, constantly be making sure I'm not taking too little or taking too much. It's not like that. So, um, you definitely don't have to do that piece. And again, 30% of the brand partners with LEMD are clinicians or people that are in the health and wellness professionals. There are lots of people that are just everyday people that are connectors, they're brand partners, and they also offer the peptides. And of course, those people are not doing labs. So that's sort of up to you.
Yeah.
I've seen providers that they're a medical spa owner and they've got a whole, they have got skin tightening devices. And now they've got patients that have lost weight. And now those patients want to get skin tightening. Or patients are like, man, I'm starting to feel really good about myself. I've lost, I'm feeling energetic and hey, I think I'm gonna go get Botox and I'm gonna do some new thing. I'm gonna do some more self-care. I kind of like how I'm feeling now. So it also feeds into a lot of other cross promotion. I have a lot of providers that I work with that have in-body composition analysis or they have
Hmm.
DEXA machines. Coupling peptides with DEXA or in-body are great because you can measure the reduction in visceral fat. Maybe they're on um, Samoralin and they built up a little bit of muscle. So coupling it with those sort of services also are they really just go together really well.
Yeah. And is there a minimum for commission or is it on every order?
Nope, it's on every single order and there's no minimums.
Yep. Awesome. All right. I think I answered. Oh, pharmacy. So that's a great question. LEMD sources from Clover RX.
Yep,
Clover.
I will actually put it in the chat. Let me pull up the pharmacy slide here really quick. And I'll actually put this in the chat for everybody. So let me see. Actually, Dr. Chung, you might have to do this because I think this is only going to the panelists and
Yeah,
hosts.
I'll type it
Put that in the chat.
cloverrxpharmacy.com.
So
Clover, is it two R's? Clover.
no,
Or
just
one X?
Clover
Clover X.
Pharmacy. Yeah. And there's,
Okay.
like I said, somebody told me that there's a pharmacy in China called Clover. That is not this
Do
pharmacy.
not, yeah, do not.
This is located in Texas. So
Texas, yeah. All right. All right. Let me see if we more Q&As. We got a few more, and then we are I'm going to try to answer these. And we want to make sure everyone gets their questions answered. So peptide certification. Lori, can you provide that information again?
yeah, so the meeting that I go to, and it's coming up in April. It's called the Age Management Medical Group meeting. They have it twice a year. They have it in Vegas in the fall, and then in the spring, it's down in the Miami area. So one of the gifts, and we actually should have made a slide for this, Dr. Chung.
Yeah.
If you sign up as a brand partner, we will send you a 20% discount code for that conference. And then the other thing is I actually have a book on Amazon called Anti-Aging and Longevity Marketing, How to Be the Number One Provider in Your Area. I will actually ship you a copy of this book at no charge. So it's got all my marketing stuff. And Raquel, I actually have to send one of these to you as well. So I'll get one in the mail for you.
Thank you.
So yes, Age Management Medical Group meeting is the one that I recommend. Um, it's
Awesome.
nice. It's not a huge meeting. I'd say it's probably like maybe 400 providers. A lot of times they'll bring staff members. And I'm actually doing a whole marketing session at that conference as well.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So I think we answered all the questions. Going to make sure. Oh, just a few more. Is there a non-compete with the $79 restriction
No.
when you enroll? No. It's a straightforward independent contractor agreement that you'll have with LEMD.
Yep. And you can cancel at any time. Again, $79 is, I mean, I see these providers and Raquel, you probably know this being in medical spa. I mean, they're spending $150,000 on lasers and RF and all of that stuff is great, but sometimes without the proper marketing and support, they become very expensive dust collectors and very stressful dust collectors with the everything that goes into it. So this is just I think a really great way to just add on an additional service, and it's not a huge financial
Right.
outlay, and you do get a ton of support. Like Dr. Chung, she is such an amazing resource, not only from a business perspective, but she offers so much through the International Business Association for Nurses. I know you even have something with the collaborative physicians and even helping
Yeah.
people get connected in
Mm-hmm.
areas
Right.
too. So she's a fantastic resource. And that's really the biggest thing too, is being part of this group. You're going to be with other health and wellness professionals. And there's just a lot of idea sharing and support, and we kind of collaborate together on a lot of webinars, so you don't have to feel like you're having to figure this whole thing out yourself.
You will not. Yeah, this is not something you're just going to sign up and you'll never hear from us. You're going to hear from me. You might get tired of hearing from me. Raquel could tell you I'm sending out like motivational email messages. You'll hear from Lori. We do the team. We're doing it weekly team trainings. And also the patient. Well, I'm going to call them informational webinars, but
Yeah.
those are the ones that you can invite potential patients and even potential brand partners to, where they could just simply learn about the peptides and learn a little bit about the opportunity if they're interested. So you're not having to like, don't think like you join and you have to put on like this whole webinar by yourself. Raquel joined recently and hosted her first webinar and got 100 people signed up in 2 days. So
Crazy.
it's a collaborative effort.
Awesome.
And right. And don't feel like because you don't have a network or following, there are people in your local Facebook groups for your city, your town, who would love to know someone locally that is knowledgeable or offering peptides safely. So do not feel like that you have to have like 10,000 followers to be successful with
Yeah,
this.
very
You
true.
absolutely do not.
Yes.
All right. So as Lori mentioned, when you enroll as a brand partner, you're going to get her marketing book. And the name of that book again, Lori?
So it's called Anti-Aging and Longevity Marketing. It is on
Yes.
Amazon, but don't spend the money on Amazon. I don't make any money from the book anyways. I'll get you an author copy. And and then I do a lot of marketing webinars too, just for practice marketing.
Mhm.
But I will tell you, like, I learn a lot about marketing even myself, just new ideas, just as being part of EllieMD that I'm now incorporating with the rest of my
Mhm.
clients too. So.
And to mention, as a brand partner, you'll have access to the LEMD chat GPT
Oh
thing.
yeah.
So everything, the corporate has loaded everything into that GPT, and you can ask it anything down to even like compliance, words that you shouldn't use or should use on social media. I ask it everything. So you're not alone in this at all right. Peptides are also for males, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, my
absolutely.
husband's taking them. I started my health journey and then he's like, "Wait a minute, girl. You're starting to look pretty good. I need to start doing this too." So,
Right,
yeah,
right.
and they do a whole like men's health series, educational series on peptides.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There's so many, even though this LEMD is not very old, less than 2 years old. There are so many brand partners that do so much education that you're not just going to learn from myself or Lori. You're going to learn. You're going to see a lot of people who have webinars and YouTube videos and are always doing teaching and education. So this is a great time to get in to this opportunity because everybody's looking for peptides. Everybody, no, right? All right.
And it's amazing too because like I can share my experience as a brand partner. I am extremely busy and joining Ellie, it feels like this program was really like done for you because Dr. Chung will literally hold your hand the entire time. Like so everything's done, already done. And so even as I'm thinking about okay, I need to do this next, she'll spit it out to me like literally she's gonna spoon feed you what you need. So this is probably, and I've joined all kinds of things over the years, this is probably one of the smoothest transitions I've ever had, in feeling like as a brand partner I have the support and the resources already waiting on me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So thank you everyone for joining. The link is on the screen as well as the QR code. You will also get access to the replay. So we'll get that replay. You'll get an email with that information, how to access the replay so you can go back and watch it again. And then also you'll get, again, the link for to enroll or to purchase products for yourself. And also, if you have questions, in that email, you will have a link to schedule a call with me. So you'll get all of that as we wrap up tonight. So thank you again for all joining. I'm excited for all of you that are going to take advantage as either a customer or a brand partner. Either way, I am excited for you and definitely look out for more educational opportunities as we continue to host webinars. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lori and Raquel, for joining. Thank you.
it was great. Awesome.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited. We'll see everybody soon and
All right.
we'll get all those freebies out to you.
Yes, yes. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.